Exercising in the heat causes a number of physiological changes that, together, makes exercise a lot harder and causes us to not perform as well as we could in a cooler environment. This is true for athletes and also for workers. However, heat adaptation can cause physiological changes that improve exercise capacity in hot environments. Heat stress isn't just present for athletes like runners and cyclists. Open water swimming competitions can take place in both cold and sometimes very warm water. In today's episode, we'll see if swimmers can heat adapt themselves by doing their training in a hotter than normal swimming pool. For athletes like cyclists and runners, one way to heat adapt is to exercise in a hot environment, raising core temperature higher than normal for about 60 to 90 minutes daily for 1 to 2 weeks. Heat adaptation using hot water immersion or a sauna can also be effective, especially if used right after exercise to keep body temperature high. Some of the changes with heat adaptation include a lower core temperature and heart rate during both rest and exercise, an increase in sweating for evaporative heat loss, and also a decreased perceived discomfort. But what if you're a swimmer? Is it possible to heat adapt while swimming by training in a hotter than normal swimming pool? This would save a lot of valuable time without having to spend extra time doing other forms of heat adaptation outside of the water. A New Zealand study looked at this in 2015. They took trained swimmers and had a pre-test of swimming or cycling as far as possible in 20 minutes. Swimming was done in both normal pool temperatures of 28 degrees Celsius and also in a warm swimming flume at 33 degrees Celsius. Cycling was done in a warm environment of 29 degrees Celsius, where the skin temperature would be similar to that in the warm swimming trial. The swimmers then did 6 days of 60 minutes training in either 28 degrees Celsius or 33 degrees Celsius water, and then the 3 20-minute tests were repeated. Let's first look at the physiology, comparing the pre-training and post-training. On the graph are the core temperature responses during the swimming test on the left and the cycling test on the right. What we see is that during the 20-minute swimming test, core temperature was essentially identical before and after the 6 days of adaptation, regardless of whether the adaptation took place in 28 degrees Celsius or 33 degrees Celsius water. Looking at the right graph, we also see no major differences in the cycling test pre and post with the two adaptation temperatures. The same lack of change was seen with heart rate and sweat rate, although the warm water adaptation did result in slightly less sensation of heat. So there was no real change in physiology. But what about performance measures? On the first day of 60 minutes swimming in 33 degrees Celsius water, about 3,200 meters was completed with a core temperature rise of 1.4 degrees Celsius. At the end of 6 days of warm water training, the distance swam and the core temperature rise was essentially identical. Looking at the 20-minute test, no benefits were seen in 28 degrees Celsius water or 33 degrees Celsius water, nor while cycling. Overall, this study suggests that if swimmers do need to heat adapt, that they would need to do so outside of the normal swim training, which will require extra time and energy to properly incorporate into their training program. I hope that you've enjoyed this look into the fascinating world of environmental physiology. I'm Dr. Stephen Chung, and I run the Environmental Ergonomics Lab in the Department of Kinesiology at Brock University in Canada. We post new short videos on different aspects of environmental physiology every Wednesday. Thanks for watching. See you next time.